Hello, Billishkov over here with another MTG video, posting new Magic the Gathering videos every 2 days, so if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, why not subscribe to the channel, because it really does help, and I want to thank the subscribers who already subscribed. So, Masters 25, we've talked about it, people are disappointed, some people love it, some people say it's all about the draft, but let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Challenger decks. So Challenger decks are coming, and surprisingly, they are fantastic decks for Standard. There are 4 of them, they're Standard decks, and they contain cards that are fantastic for Standard, for playing Standard. You can just go into your shop, spend $30 American pricing, USD, spend your $30 and play in Standard with decks that are highly competitive, decks that have Mythics in it, multiple copies of Mythics even. So, all in all, it's fantastic for the players. It's fantastic for people who want to try out, like, let's say you want to try out Second Sun Control, but you didn't want to assemble the deck. Well, now you can actually play the deck, see how it feels, a light version of it, and then if you like it, optimize it, make it better. It's up to you. There is only one big loser in this whole Challenger deck thing, and that's people who were buying these cards to speculate. Cards like Challenger Torch of Defiance. She was at $40. She will now slip down to $20, maybe even lower. Remember that Challenger decks will be available at Target, at Walmart. They're available at big box stores, so there'll be hundreds of thousands of these, plenty of these to go around. The other problem is booster boxes. I don't really see the value now of buying a booster box of, let's say, Kaladesh. Kaladesh had good cards in it. Chandra was one of them. Heart of Kiran was another. And you could see buying a booster box to draft and then hopefully get some of these cards. Well, now, there's no real point in buying booster boxes, really. Why would you ever buy a booster box of Kaladesh in, let's say, 3 or 4 years' time? Let's say 5 years' time, people are like, oh, I want to buy a box of Kaladesh. I hope I get some good pools. Well, the best pools, Chandra, Heart of Kiran, besides masterpieces, the best pools are in this Challenger decks. Just buy a Challenger deck and you have the best pools. They will even have the same set emblem, so there's no difference between a Challenger pulled from a Kaladesh booster box and a Challenger coming from a Challenger deck. It really makes no sense to ever buy a booster box of these newer sets to hoard. Like, these booster boxes were already not going up in value. If you look at, let's say, Return to Ravnica, which is the set that ended it all, it's been 5 years old. It hasn't gone up in price. It's even probably, some people might say, over the 5 years. Actually, 2012, so it's already a 6-year box. And people might argue, and I would probably agree with them, that the price has actually gone down in price. You can get Return to Ravnica boxes for $60, $70 USD, American pricing. So really, these booster boxes weren't going up in price. I know Kanzatak here went up because of fetch lands, but really that was because of Rudy, Alpha Investment. Rudy, he spiked the market. He told that it was a good investment. He's got a large pool, a large audience. People buy the boxes, they go up. But any other box really hasn't gone up. Battle for Zendikar is down. Everything's down. So this just adds more fuel to that fire. It just makes booster box prices unsustainable. There is no booster box that will ever go up in price now with these Challenger decks. You will never see Kaladesh go for $200, $300 a box. Number one, it's been overprinted. There's a lot of Kaladesh. Number two, all the good Kaladesh cards, besides the masterpieces, are available in these Challenger decks. There's no point in ever buying a Kaladesh booster box. It will never go up in price. The other problem with these Challenger decks are card prices. It's slowly becoming like Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. Magic is slowly becoming like Yu-Gi-Oh! Not the older sets, but these newer sets are like Yu-Gi-Oh! And for people who don't know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Just reprints the shit out of everything. It just reprints it. So something like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is a famous card, I think most people know it, or even the Dark Magician, that card has been reprinted again and again and again. It came out in a standard set, and then it goes up in price, and then it gets reprinted in a tin, where you can just buy the tin and it's there, you get it 100%. Then it gets reprinted at a lower rarity, goes down to rare, from, let's say, mythic to rare, and then from rare to common. So they just reprint over and over again, and that's what's happening in Magic a lot. Chandra is a mythic. She should be worth something. She shouldn't be worth $5. She's a mythic. She's the chase card. She's the face of the set. She should be worth something. Well, now she's in a Challenger deck. You just buy a Challenger deck, you get a Chandra. There you go. Hazarat, a god, just buy the same deck, you get a Hazarat. There you go. No need to ever buy a booster box. What's the point of buying booster boxes of, let's say, Hour of Devastation or Arm and Ket? I mean, the Scarab God? That's the only thing. There's no chase after the cards anymore. They've killed it with this. And I know it's a player's game, and power to the player, you know. I'm a player, power to the player. Let's get those cards. Let's, you know, make an on-ramp to standard. I get all of that. But there's also a lot of casualty. There's also a lot of collateral damage with what they're doing. Not only in booster box prices, which will now never appreciate in value due to the overprinting and now all the chase cards being in this, but also people are going to get wise to this. You know, people on Reddit and these message boards don't really realize how many people are actually playing this game and they don't have that much money. And once 2 or 3 years of these challenger decks happen, let's say the Phoenix, right? There's the Phoenix from Rivals of Ixalan, right? You know that card's going to be in a challenger deck next year. It's 100% going to be in a challenger deck. If challenger decks are once a year, next year the Phoenix is going to be in it. Maybe 1 copy, maybe 2 copies. Completely crushing the price. If challenger decks happen every 6 months, then it will be in the next challenger decks this year. So there's no incentive to buy a Phoenix right now for $30. Yes, if you want to play with him, buy him. But even if you want to play with him, a lot of people are going to be like, I really want to play with him. He's needed for my deck, but I don't want to spend $30 on him when on 2 of them. Let's say you're buying 2 of them. So that's $60 when you know in a couple of months' time he's just going to be put into a challenger deck and be worth $10, $5. So a lot of people are just going to be waiting because some people really value money over everything else. They need money because they maybe have a low-paying job. Maybe they struggle. Maybe they have to pay rent. Maybe this is just a hobby and they can't spend too much money on it. So a lot of people value money and a lot of people are going to be backing away from buying singles because they know that in 6 months' time, in 8 months' time, boom, challenger deck comes, has all the cards you need, has the Phoenix, completely crushes the price of value. There's no point in buying a box of Rivals of Ixalan. I mean, what's the best card in there? The Phoenix, right? Well, it's going to be reprinted in a challenger deck, thus completely killing that booster box price. In 5 years' time, that Rivals of Ixalan is going to be $80. It's just going to be 5 years' time. Because the Phoenix will be reprinted in challenger decks, 100%. Chupacabra has already been reprinted in Masters 25. So what's the point of buying those boxes? To draft? I mean, if you want to draft, there's better draft sets. Return to Ravnica is the best draft set. So even though it's a good thing, power to the players, I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. I think eventually people are going to get wise, people are going to back off, they're going to stop buying singles because they're just going to wait for the cheaper reprint to come from Wizards. And slowly booster boxes are just going to have no value, and then stores are going to have to order less and less booster boxes, less and less booster boxes, less and less booster boxes. And unless Wizards adjusts the print run to the less and less demand of booster boxes, which they haven't done that. They just reprinting constantly. So they just have the printers on full. Unless they adjust the print run to a lower number, because not that many people are going to slowly cut away from buying booster boxes to crack packs due to the fact that you can just get the card in a couple of months' time in a challenger deck. So Wizards has to adjust to that. They don't adjust to it, and a lot of people are going to be stuck with hundreds and hundreds of these booster boxes. So that's my 2 cents on challenger decks. Very good. Don't want people to get misunderstood with this video. I think it's a fantastic product. It's very good for players. It's very good to get people into standard. But just think there's going to be some people, there's going to be some fallout from some people that aren't too happy about it. So that's it. Post down in the comment sections, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm completely crazy? I can take it. Please don't forget that I'm posting new MTG content every 2 days. So if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, why not subscribe to the channel? Because it really does help. And that's about it. Bilishka Vava. Out.